Hello, hello! It is time for yet another instance of me absolutely failing to find items in one of my favorite games ever, just with all the locations randomized. Wow. No, seriously, for those of you who have never played Metroid Prime, you should do that. But also, I am embarrassingly bad at these randomizers. To be fair, I haven't played this in a while. Not counting the one that I did recently where I was, like, not good. As always, we're starting with two very specific items, those being the space jump and the charge beam, because they are kind of big deals, basically. Who could imagine, right? But in particular, our charge beam locks the super missile, for those of you who have never played this game, and the super missile is a required thing for progression in some locations. And also the space jump just makes our lives like 10 times easier. Now I gotta find that morph ball location, because there is a place that is here that, yes. Well, an energy tank to start with is hardly a bad thing. Although I feel like this means I'm probably going to be fighting the Hive Totem very, very soon and doing it completely raw. Which, I mean, okay, yeah, whatever. It'll just be like playing the thing vanilla, but that may or may not be giving me flashbacks to last time when I fought the thing, and it, instead of giving me the missile that it usually gives me, it gave me an artifact. So I had to go back to the room that you just saw me double jump to earlier, which is where the space jump is usually hanging out, and go in there and grab it that way. At bare minimum, ball is a pretty good power-up to start with, so you know, we don't have to worry about going on some weird side quest for that yet. And by yet, I mean ever, because, well, we already have it. It'd be silly if we lost it. What do you think this is? A game where you lose power-ups for some reason? Well, deep subject, I know. We're going to a different entrance to Chozo Ruins this time. And, oh, I would need the ball to go backwards here. Well, that's a shame. And by the ball, I mean the bomb. Ooh, wow. Good job, me. The word user of this particular group. The word user who is using words right now. That's right, use your words. Wait. Can't get the item in the vault right now because we don't have bombs. You want it? It's yours, my friend. Wait. Oh, there's some missiles for us. That's going to make our lives slightly... Well, it's the a big point of regression, that's for sure. So saying slightly easier might be a bit of a slight understatement, if you will. Alright, just dodge as many of the gross bugs as possible. Hey, free energy tank. I was gonna say, we didn't even trigger the boss, but never mind, we did on the way back. Enjoy that boss music for however long. And that's why you usually want to ball up to avoid the weird bugs. Oh hey, the boss music faded out much sooner than I thought it would. We probably sort of hit like a weird sub-track in the background music. Does that sound stupid or what? Like, oh yes, we ran into a sub-track in the music. It just reminded me of this thing that I remember hearing from a guy who speed ran. It was a guy who was speed running Earthbound, because of course it was. But the guy a lot of time was talking about strategies that involved, I shit you not, sub-pixels. Like, bruh. You are high or something if you expect me to take the phrase sub-pixel seriously. Like, I don't necessarily mean that I don't get it. I mean, sure, but also, like, you ever just hear something that sounds so incredibly stupid that you're like, oh, you're taking the piss right now, aren't you? I think about the, like, methane egg or whatever in 14. Whatever it was called that got you to the last tier of the Gatherer Society in Endwalker. Actually, in Endwalker, they weren't called societies, were they? They were still calling them. They had changed them away from being called beast tribes, but they were continuing to use the word tribal, I believe. Yeah. Which is like, I did not realize that that was something that was such a hot button, that specific word. I mean, obviously, like, the treatment of certain peoples by, like, well, everything in our society is not super great. Something about magic changed the tribal mechanic to kindred, now they call it. Or when it's creature type mechanics for, like, oh yeah, this guy boosts all goblins, they like to call it typal, I think, but whatever. Which is kind of shocking that magic would change it, because, you know, we're gonna just go ahead and say that Wizards is not a very sensitive company about certain things, and aside from a few token gestures that they did a couple years ago because they thought it might improve public relations or get them more money, you know, they haven't exactly been the most sensitive. Anyway, the most recent one, I think, particularly being that their Wild West plane has a very serious issue of basically Native American erasure. I don't want to get too deep into it because I will freely admit that with that particular set, I didn't pay great attention to the story because I found it was another Jason Vraska story, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm checking the fuck out. And then I heard about how Jace managed to become a not Phyrexian, and I was like, you are absolutely taking the piss here because you've managed to just ruin the one good thing that this one previous story arc had going for it in terms of like any sort of emotional anything. And even I, as somebody who's not invested anymore, was like, that's pathetic. That is some very, very badly done. Bad. But, and then like the third strike against it is the fact that basically it's very much like, hey, look at Magic's rogues gallery that we're presenting to you, as opposed to having like the actual potential new characters of this world have anything done with them. Oh, hi, Plasticillion, you are catching me right in the middle of a rant. How are you, buddy? Did you 100% Kirby's Adventure, my friend? And I apologize for the fact that you're now catching me in the middle of a complaint about Magic the Gathering lore arcanery. Basically, yeah, the thing that I was saying is that Outlaws of Thunder Junction, which is the almost year-old now, I believe, Western-themed set, and how, like, yeah, it had some new characters, but mostly it was just, like, all the old characters, all the old villains that they were relying on for the entire plot. And it makes a little more sense when you remember, oh, hey, yeah, it's the 100th set in the entire series. And also the fact that Wizards is kind of, like, throwing most of Magic lore by the wayside because they realize that they can make shockingly large amounts of money on crossovers. You joke about this, but first of all, there is actually a Mafia dragon. Her name is Ziatora, and she comes from the plane of New Capenna. And two, there were dragons in cowboy hats on Thunder Junction. That actually happened, dude. So, like, yeah, yeah, just, yeah. I don't have much of a follow-up here. Except that I'm in this weird place right now of being obviously, like, absolutely checked out from a perspective of I'm never giving Wizards of the Coast any of my money if I can help it. But also from the perspective of, like, I both am and am not paying great attention to the Magic plot. I'm paying enough attention to it now to know how it pisses me off, basically, which is what I believe one would consider to be not very healthy of a relationship with a piece of media, but also, I mean, I think the phrase relationship with a piece of media is probably something that speaks to some unhealth to begin with. Anyhow, yes, today we are playing a Metroid Prime randomizer because I really like Metroid Prime. Hey, cool, thermal visor. That'll be helpful. That room is just a map. And I mean, technically that's a useful thing, but also it's not randomized or anything, so leave it out, you know? Let's go take a look at some of the rest of the area. We could also, I guess, just go back to the Talon Overworld. We have access to another elevator. We could go find it and find out that it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this leads you directly into the Hell Pit in the Phazon Mines. Yeah, a little weird that we'd be getting that early, but all right. Ugh. I don't want none. Anyway. Ah, yes, you know this location you've been in for... Hey, that turned me around. And it closed the door! Ah, I'm sure the devs didn't expect you to come this way anyway, so... It's... fine-ish. Oh, god damn it! I was joking about an elevator straight into the Phazon Mines Hell Pit. And that's basically what I just got. Game, please. So yeah, I guess my other thing that I'll say about Magic lore is that, like, it does kind of surprise me, and this is going to sound like a really weird and awful thing to say with no context, but it does kind of surprise me a little bit, the, like, sheer amount of diversity that they actually do put into a lot of these worlds, when you consider the fact that they really do seem to spend a lot of time going after a fairly particular target audience. Something you can tell by the fact that one of the first actual proper Universes Beyond releases was a Warhammer 40k crossover. Apologies to anyone who might watch me who does enjoy a bit of 40k, but there are stereotypes about that fan base for a reason. I know a couple of people who have 40k'd before that don't suck, but I would not consider them to be the majority by any means. And also, when they, like, right after Donald Trump was elected, dropped support for a group that was kind of doing, like, support for more queer spaces in the tournament scene and stuff. With the big asterisk here of I forget exactly what it was called and exactly what it was doing, but it was along those lines. It was... Basically what I'm saying is that, like, wow, they actually did make that one girl in Duskmourn, who the plot centers around, actually, like, kind of brownish. And it's probably a little bit, like, awful for me to be like, wow, people who are not white exist in this thing, but again, this hasn't necessarily been the nicest franchise about any of that kind of stuff. Hey, we got the Artifact of Warrior, so that'll make me shut up for 5 seconds, because I can focus on the fact that, hey, we're already 1/12 of the way done, aside from the part where we will also still need the tools to fight Meta Ridley and the final boss, so we're not actually, but on the other hand, the percentage done we are would be very hard to quantify. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyone who might still be here for some reason after all that, any of you played any good video games recently or anything? I've heard that new space exploration thing in Final Fantasy XIV is kind of a pain in the ass, to put it nicely. And from the sounds of things, it's not even just the person who was telling me about that who was frustrated. It sounds like a lot of people have just kind of already been like, yeah, no. Which is quite a shock. And there's our furnace item. I'm not going to go all the way into there right now because I mean, obviously, I'm gonna go get the one item that's completely free. But, I mean, I'm not going into that area. Even though I do know a way to, like, actually get up that spider ball track without spider ball. But I don't think I can do anything else in that area. I don't have boost ball. I don't have wave beam. I could get through it without super missiles, but they would make my life a lot easier. I don't have a power bomb to open up the half pipe in that room. So, yeah. We're going to just go back to ignoring that. And to be fair, sequence breaking in a randomizer, excuse me, can be quite dangerous. Unless you're doing it in the approved method, right? If you're doing something that's like, hey, this is technically a sequence break, but it's because it's something that's in logic. Like, if I was to go do the sequence break to get to where the early ice beam is, which is one of the very few sequence breaks that I know how to do in this game, that would be considered out of logic. So there would be a very strong chance that I would go there and the game would just be like, no. And I would be stuck and I would die. And by die, I mean have to reset and probably lose a lot of progress because of my not having saved in a minute. Can we go get this item in the middle of the fight? We sure can. And it's the ice beam. All right. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to make this fight any easier. But to be honest with you, I have never used this on this guy. So all right, come on, you. Oh, that's some good damage. I guess it, like, on the one hand, it stands to reason, hey, it's the incinerator drone, you idiot, but also just because the ice beam does kind of hit like a truck anyway. A truck made of ice. Or possibly more like a freezer truck. Man, that root beer that Lears was telling me about, like, actual years ago, I wish that was kind of I wish that was practical to, like, get here. Because it's a Minnesota thing as far as I know. Minnesota, wait. That pun only half works. Anyway, I barely even have to fight these wasps. I just don't like them because, you know, they're wasps. There are very few animals in this world that are fundamentally evil, but, like, wasps definitely are, you know? Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. You've encountered wasps before. Artifact of Nature acquired, so that's put us at 2 out of 12 artifacts. Or 1 out of 6 if you reduce, which would be a bad idea to do when it's number of things as opposed to a proportion. And by a bad thing to do, I mean just very, very silly. I think the one big upside of the cowboy plane in Magic is that it did give us Bristly Bill, which is just a... Apparently the card is, like, really good, too, because it's still, like, 40 bucks, which actually makes me a little bit sad, because, first of all, I look at it and I'm like, I'd play that, but it seems really mediocre for something that is trending at $40 on TCG Player. And second of all, I would love to have just a card of, again, a dude named Bristly Bill who is a cactus man. But also that is kind of a good choice of a name there. I'm not paying $40 for Bristly Bill. It's not like I'm, you know, a person who card game tournaments or even like plays casually. And admittedly, again, it's also like, hey, yeah, listen, I'm still not giving money to the company, but yeah, just I don't know 100% where all of this is going. I was trying to shatter that angry slappy Vine guy earlier. It didn't work. I'm kind of sad by that, but I probably should have expected as much. I feel like people would have said it at some point if it did work. But I've just never been in a position where I could find out, so I was like, hey, maybe it does. Unless the game is modified in some way, which I don't think there's, like, content hacks for this game. It'd be fun if there were, but that I highly doubt is a thing. Yeah, this is the only item we can get out of here for now, so the rest will have to wait. And at this point, our main options, I believe, are to go fight Flagra or to go back to the Talon overworld. Because what we have doesn't really open a whole lot by itself. Yet. Okay, yeah, no, it's not like the horse carrots. A phrase that I swear is not a non sequitur, but it really sounds like it. I was referring to the accelerations in OOT when you're on the horse. Your A button presses. Because they recover faster if you don't spend all of them. Because of... well, some reason. I guess they just wanted to make things a little bit more complicated, basically. Oh no, not the bees! Not the bees! Etc. That's right, I read that line perfectly. Wait. Oh yeah, we can't just roll out of that pit. We have to actually step out of it the normal way, or use bomb jumps, which is what I did in that case, or anything of that nature. Nothing for us in the room across the way just yet. But there is plenty of stuff for us to get here. Going through this way. Yeah, first of all, we're going to go and we're going to get the item over at the place that I forgot what it's called because I'm real smart. The Artifact Temple, yeah. Oh, pff, I got turned around. Wow. Like I said, I know the video games very, very good. And don't dispute that because you'd be correct to dispute that, but... Come on, load faster. I'd say I don't have all day, but truth be told. And I went the wrong way. Good job, me. I got the directions that you do the turns in confused. Whoops. Okay, so I think, yeah, it's just a missile. Let's get our artifact hints, because that's like... that's the only hint system that we get in this game, in this randomizer. If you're playing the game vanilla, you get some other hints, but... this is all the info that we're gonna get, really. And then otherwise, we're gonna be at this... completely and utterly pantsless, my friends. I don't know why I decided to express it that way, but... well, it's too late for sense now. So, Artifact Temple was a bit of a bust, but we did get our artifact hints, so we can have those for whenever we need them. So for now, we're going to go and we're going to check the other elevator. And probably just be told, hey, go deal with Flogger, you idiot. And I'll be like, oh. That's right. Throw the gross green ball at me. I probably didn't even need to be trying to aim at that. Oh well. I just did it because I'm bad at aiming normally, so... There's another artifact. Okay. Well, I've got a feeling that Flogger is going to be in our near future. Ventrona drifts north. So this is the area that's, like, really easy to deal with for this. And by that, I mean it's somewhere where I can actually do something. Trying to figure out what the fast way up here is. I think it's that. Alright, now roll through as fast as we can and still take both hits. Oh well. And in here we've got some of the ice Shoggoths. That's just what they are, is... The name isn't even particularly subtle. They're Shegoths. It's like... Not trying with that one too hard today, are you guys? Good thing we're not going for 100% logbook, because those ice burrowers do in fact disappear eventually. Like they stop spawning after a certain point. It's quite weird. Yeah, that's about how I would expect that to go. And that. I'll lower the elevators. Hey, the wave beam. All right. Well, for a start, I could go and actually do the sequence break stuff in the Chozo Ruins. It would technically be out of logic, but we'd actually be able to do it and be able to escape. So that opens up some free elevators to us that we probably shouldn't have access to just yet. But I have a feeling that I know where the game is directing me now, actually. And that would be to the Ice Temple. I mean, I suppose I could skip it and just go straight to dealing with the pirate base. Which, honestly, right now, I'm more or less hooked up the way that I usually like to be for dealing with the pirate base. Oh, wait, no, I can't actually do that yet. Never mind. I don't have the boost ball. So if it weren't for that, I could go deal with the pirate base. But I can go to the Ice Temple. I can't get the thing out here that requires the super missile, but I can quite freely go in here and deal with this area. And yeah, that guy's down there. Having a... oh. It's one of those things. Alright, well... whatever, I'll just kill this real quick too, because... you know, complete jerk. These ice parasites are also a fairly unique scan. I don't know why it's like all the ice creatures that disappear so readily. Maybe global warming. I don't know. But... oh, you dick. I forgot about that guy already. He spent a long time... hey, buddy. Get out of here. Get out of town, champ. And see, I remembered where that one was. Otherwise, that's usually a scan visor puzzle. Say, big air quotes. Alright. Now, I think supposedly you can, like, trick your way over to that using the boost ball. But I don't know how to do it, so I wouldn't even try even if I did have the boost ball. But obviously with no boost ball, I'm definitely not it's not even worth attempting at that point. And yeah, here comes this big angry lummox. And that apparently knocked me out of being in that phase. This fight just kind of sucks. I've never liked fighting the Sheegoth because its hitboxes are kind of ass. And if you hit it wrong, it sucks your energy shots and it turns them into balls that it can throw at you because of reasons, and those reasons being fuck you and fuck you and fuck you. On the other hand, you apparently can just like drop bombs at its lower quarters and that will have an effect. Yeah, see, and the crystal just sort of absorbs your beam most of the time. And also, of course, you lock onto the crystal because, like, you know. Okay, so that area is apparently just a place of it being non-hostile, but you also can't hurt it. So that's interesting. Fuck! Get out of here! Oh god. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. I've never had that happen before. I might be about to die, and also this thing is in a really awful place. Dude, what are you doing? Like, why the hell are you up there? It's... okay, no, it's back on the ground again. Ah! It's about to put me in the ground. Sheesh. Oh, yeah, finally. I fucking hate fighting that thing. I was gonna say it didn't even have the decency to give me any health, but it did. It was kind of worth it, though. The gravity suit is pretty helpful, and that gives us some heat resistance because of the effects of the randomizer. So that's good. That's very good, in fact. It does kind of mean, however, that we are back heading toward Flagra. We have at least some defense and a couple of energy tanks, so I should be okay with that fight. That one's usually a lot less painful than those disgusting freaks, so... yeah... Okay, rude guy. Thankfully, these things don't do a ton of damage, I don't think, even with their contact hits. because I fully intend to wait to save until I get to the ship. Because that seems like a good place to do it, actually. Those noises seem weirdly mechanical for what those are. Yeah, I don't remember if I can actually get through the wrecked ship right now. Because I forget if that requires any super missiles for anything. Otherwise, yeah, I would be considering that as a possibility too. But for the time being, we're just going to go in here. Save. Go back and fight that boss. That incredibly ugly boss. Alright, so I can't actually access anything on that side of that room yet. I need the grapple beam, and on top of that, I think I need power bombs too, so... Despite our heat resistance, that is not a useful path of getting anything there, so... Boo, basically. Always with the wasps. Alright, now again, this one is in like a weird place, isn't it? It's somewhere on the tree? No, that's a wrecked wasp hive. Alright, because I got the one that was in that corner there. One that was the bottom. Oh, it's literally right up there. Okay. So I was kind of on the ball there. Only kind of, though. Come on! Quit goofing off, game. Quit screwing around, you're screwing around too much. And of course, the first time you gotta get cutscened. Can't skip the other cutscenes in the boss. You know, this one's closer. Go for it. Yep. Alright, and we're halfway done. Alright, wait for it. And see, we didn't take damage that time, unlike the one really sad time last week where I just fucking died to this thing at least once. It's not a hard boss if you don't suck. Actually, I think we did take damage. We just healed it off. It's just kind of a time waster. Yeah, it's just a missile. Well, so at this point, I guess it's time to go to... not this way. So, yeah, before I go there, I'm going to go back this way. There is an item we can get before that. And who knows, it could be progression. It could be something important. I'm not confident that it will be, but it certainly could be. And we're here, we may as well. Alright, there's our weird deep hole. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be anything too big, but hey, it was worth a shot. Yep, jumping into the sleeping shriek bats like a fool. Spider ball? Fucking who needs it, right? Well, apparently I do the way this... Ah! Damn it. Alright. Get back into the position. Grind into it. There we go. Turns out this is what's big in the streets. Oh, fuck! Sits here making it a Plasticillion reference, and old Plastic Alan's not here to hear it, and I got what I deserved for memeing, maybe. There we go. I will never accept what I deserve, even when I get it. Even if it is for memeing. Jailed for memes. I just think of the banned for content image from Homestar Runner. At any given point, my brain is like 30% Homestar Runner, to be honest with you, so that shouldn't be too surprising. Alright, I was gonna say, where is this chucklehead? Oh god, I'm gonna need Boost Ball to get to the Ice Beam room. This is a waste of time, isn't it? It's never a waste of time. I get to flex. And there we go. There's the bowling man statue. Doors have been unlocked. Thank you, helpful robot voice. Alright, so how do I do this again? It's a rough jump, is all I can say about this. So, quite frankly, it might be a little bit outside my pay grade nowadays, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Yeah, one sec. I'm gonna readjust in my chair here a little bit so that way I'm not, like, sitting here with my ankle bent like an idiot, because that would get uncomfortable. Because we're going to have to do that, and then we've got to do another slightly funky jump, if I recall correctly, off of this thing to get up to that location where the ball socket is. Yeah, that's not easy. I'm sure you're all really surprised to hear that a sequence break is not easy to do, right? Like, come on. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've done this in like 5 years at bare minimum, so the fact that I actually remember how to do this at all should probably surprise you slightly. I mean, again, though, I probably shouldn't be bothering with this because, like, I don't think I can actually do this. But I'm trying to access here. Well, clearly I won't fit in there if I don't ball, right? That's a big part of it. Yeah. Is that you gotta enter your ball mode. You gotta get into your hamster ball. Your super monkey ball. Your Metroid ball. Again, perhaps I shouldn't even be trying this. This is out of logic, but it's fun to give it a shot. And to be honest with you, I think I've given it enough shots at this point. I feel like maybe I should be shot for trying to do this, but you know. Yeah, there's items in here, but we can't get at them right now because we need the boost ball for them. And I think even the spider ball. So, honestly, I was being silly when I was doing that because it's probably mostly I'm just like, I don't want to go in the wrecked ship or, God help you, the Phazon basement right now. I actually don't remember how much we can even do in the Phazon Mines area right now. And I especially would like to not do it with this little health. That's a fast track to lots of deaths. These grody motherfuckers are here now. Great. Get me out of here. I'm actually going to take a quick peek and see if there is anything we can do in the Phazon Mines room. Just because I'm curious. Yeah, this is not a very happy territory to be in, that's for sure. Okay, so now I get to look at my map and go, what kind of a garbage fuck crud shit jump do I need to do here? And the answer is a surprisingly not that garbage crud fuck shit jump, actually. Or whatever I said before. Get in here. Yeah, we're just gonna ball drop our way down here. Which sounds significantly worse than I meant it to. I'm sorry-ish, I guess. Supposedly. Oh god, wait. I can't get out this way. I need a power bomb. Ooh, shit. So now, in order for me to escape, because I haven't saved recently, it's not gonna be good. Let's just say that. In fact, for that matter, can I even get back? Did I fuck myself, like, permanently? Oh god, I haven't saved in a million years. Oh. Oh no. Well, I can't recover from that, that's for sure. Or maybe I can? Okay, so now I have to figure out how I'm gonna do this. Lovely. Yeah, so this elevator was just kind of a death trap, huh? Like... Yeah, I literally need the spider ball to get over there. No way in hell I can double jump this, right? Maybe if I time it a little better, I can. But it would be a very tight fit. Unfortunately, this does also put me in a position where I would then still not know what the next step would be once we get up to the landing, because I don't remember how to navigate this room. So... yeah, I think I'm just gonna reset here, because the last time I saved would have been right before Flagra. And that, quite frankly, doesn't actually get us anything. Not at this point. So that was profoundly stupid what I did. Because I forgot the fact that you really just cannot escape from that with what little I had at that point. Well, I guess it's wrecked ship time, everybody. Once I remember the correct exit here. And I know somebody will be like, it's called, it's a wrecked ship. It counts. It's a ship, it's wrecked ship. So... if you want to argue that with me, you have to explain how the crashed pirate frigate is either A, not wrecked, or B, not a ship. If you want to explain to me how it's not a wreck, well, I mean, by all means, that'll be fun to hear. Same with it not being a ship. It's some red ship, yeah. Now, can I get at this item without the grapple beam? The answer is probably, but... oh, well, forget whatever I was going to say as a follow-up there. We pulled it off somehow. I was fully expecting to just not be good enough at that. And yet, here we are. I can go in a funny angle. I can get the various suit after I've got the gravity suit. You know, the usual way that progression works, right? I've played a Metroid game. I've played Metroid Dread. They probably would actually do something like that in Metroid Dread. If I recall correctly, in Dread, you don't get the Morph Ball until, like, the third Emmy that you fight or something. It's weirdly late. And it's like, huh, that's neat. Kind of, in theory, speaks to the idea that the guys who developed that game knowing their way around Metroid mechanics decently well. Decently well, at least. You know, and let's not praise him necessarily on everything else, because I've heard some things about Mercury Steam's corporate culture over the years. And while it's certainly not as severe as some examples, well, corporations do be corporating, right? Not that Mercury Steam is even that big, but hey. Turns out anyone can suck if they try hard enough. Oh. Right. There we go. I thought that that actually took a couple of screens before it kicked in, but I also probably thought that that was the save point, so... Hey, look, bunch of tiny little crab guys. They're the same as the beetles and the various other critters that you encounter at various parts of the game. The various little swarmers. It's just that those ones are cribs. They'll pinch your toe. Watch out, Samus. You need to invest in the Varia boots to be able to not get injured by the crabs or something. Do it, otherwise you can't progress. It'll be just like Pokemon game gating. There's a weird line of crabs here that are blocking your access to the next area. Oops. Oh right, it's the ice beam that works good against these guys, right? Might be like anything, but that definitely did the job. Okay, this is where the save point is. This dank, dark pit in the middle of... but... nowhere. That's right, right in the middle of the ocean's asshole. Oh hey, that opens with a regular missile, that's good. I'll take an energy tank. We do enjoy those. They usually taste pretty good. A little crunchy, but I still got decently strong teeth. Oh, hey. Oh, there's one of these things here. It is a little tough to see. This section of things, like, in addition to the fact that it's, oh hey, it's a water level and the entire mechanic is just do this dumb switch puzzle like 10 times. The colors are a little bit not great here in terms of the palette. And you can somehow fuck things a little bit harder by using the thermal visor. And yet you have to do that, so... Getting a little bit of performance hiccups here. The old dolphin is not the most impressive fish to ever do it. And you might be thinking, dolphins aren't fish. Well, that'll be why then, won't it? I love doing that to the turrets. It's not a smart idea, because, yeah, they can still hit you when they're flipping out, but it's such a good animation. Alright, now I'm looking for the tube that's locked up. Oh. What do you got for me? What's... Cordite. Okay, so we can't actually get in there. Jesus. I assume any other thing we need is on the other level, right? Hey, it was even 3 switches in that area, which is kind of... Well, it's one more than I thought it was. Uh-oh. We got more of these guys who apparently count as not your normal flying pirates, even though they're really just using jetpacks underwater. It's like, come on, that definitely does not count as a new enemy type. I guess jetpacks... Maybe they don't count as regular jetpacks because they're underwater or something. I mean, I get it because you want different technology for being underwater than the regular jetpack. The thrusters probably wouldn't Thrustmaster. Can you folks believe that there is still a controller company called Thrustmaster, by the way? Like, I think about that with shocking regularity because I'm quite glad. Yeah, there's kind of that too. Like, these guys learned to be underwater guys really fast. Maybe it should count, right? Maybe it's like a phase-on mutation or something. I actually don't remember the lore of that part of the logbook because I enjoy this game quite a bit, but what I have not done is read through and memorize all the logbooks. And to be fair, I don't think a whole lot of people ever have, so... Not saying there's none of them, but that it's certainly not as common as all that. Oh, hey, this one's actually pre-opened. All right. Yeah, so here... This is the room that I was looking for earlier. This is the room where we have to do some very odd bomb jump timing. It's like not quite the top of the jump. Yeah, because we have water physics while we're in a ball, but everything seems to be about normal for when we are in just the regular suit mode. Hey, there's our spider ball. Well, that would have been pretty good if I had had it before I had done that reset, because then I would feel like less of a fool right now, but hey. That also means that we well, we open up the regular version of that thing I was doing with the sequence break. So I think if we go over there, we can press the ice beam switch in that room. You'll see what I mean when I actually manage to activate the room. And we'd be able to do that. But we still wouldn't be able to hit the wave beam switch and go into the room that has the ice beam in it normally, because we would need the boost ball for that. Like more workstation, save station. Okay, that's the entry side, I think. No, wait, no. That's the other far end, I believe. That's the side where they have you use the thermal visor in Magmore Caverns, which is among the stranger choices in this game, but there it is. Oh, whoops. That's a little spicy. So I guess we're taking the elevator. Ah, we can't go that way yet. That's right. That would probably be why that area continues to be locked off, because, well... yeah. You know, just using the thermal visor in the middle of this volcanic crater. It's open to the air, therefore it's fine. It makes about as much sense as anything else at this particular juncture. I probably should have dealt with the Triclops before I started doing this, but too late for good decision making. Wrong way. Oops. Cutting it a little close there, but we got ourselves a grapple beam. The grapple beam, even. As far as I know, anyway, the grapple beam. It could, in fact, be not the only one. It'd be a little weird, but... Unfortunately, I don't know a way to sequence break all the way to the plasma beam room from here. Otherwise, I would love to show you that, because that would be pretty fun. But I believe you need the grapple beam to get there, no matter what. So, yeah. I had some bad news, buddy. Oh, he absolutely booked it. And then came back up into the spike afterwards. You know, as you do when you're real smart. What an unfortunate creature. I think. All right. Now we go up this set of magnet strips here. And here is our mid-zone elevator to the crash site. Okay, so that's the overlook. That'll take us right back to to Samus's ship. We can put that to use eventually. What's all that shaking for? Alright, now let's be careful out there. We've got some scaffolding. That's right. Artifact of Spirit. It's been a minute since we had an artifact. Right. Silence those things real quick. Go through here. Can't do anything in this room due to a lack of power bombs. Those turrets will stay frozen for a good long time, which will make my life significantly easier. Ah! Until I bump very stupidly off of a piece of the scenery. In the traditional fashion, you know. The way one frequently does when they're not great at video games. Alright, now going here. It's just a missile. Darn. I'd prefer the vanilla reward, but whatever. What do you got for me? Reflecting pool save station. That is a pretty good place to go, actually. Whoop. Controller tried to run away from me. Oh shit, some stuff on my Steam wishlist is on sale. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle at 72% off. What a very odd amount. Huh. And I don't know. Steam sales don't need to make sense, do they? Okay, I wasn't expecting to be blocked there. That's pretty good. I like the way that looked. It was a very subtle visual effect, really. Okay, if I recall correctly, we can actually jump around to this, like, going this way? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we got the power bombs. Hell yeah. And it's not one of those shitty one power bomb tanks that you usually get in these randos. No, 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 no. We get a set of 4. That's great in case the game doesn't feel like giving me more power bomb ammo at any particular point for a good long time. Alright, so what's this elevator? Magmore Caverns North. Lava Lake. Alright, so I'm going there. Because that's the entrance that you usually get to at the end of Chozo Ruins, I think. Yeah, no need to save quite so soon. I mean, we got something pretty huge, but we literally just saved like 2 minutes ago, basically. Asterisk times are approximate. Yeah, we can take a couple of frames in the hot sauce. It's fine. Alright, so free item in the Triclops pit. I don't remember how to get to the item that requires, well, really wants you to have the X-ray visor here, so skip that. Only a missile. Darn. Oh, well. Could be worse. There are 2 empty item drops in the pool, so I only half got the dud. You got the dud! Wait. Ah, a lot of green stuff we got in my face. Oh no. I think I was stuck for a second there under the lip of the platform. Hey, good time to get an energy tank, though, right after I take big damage for my own stupidity. Yeah, baby. Grapple beam. I got what I deserved for screwing that one up. Alright, let's go here. And it... Oh. Controller, please. Oh no, now they'll all know that I'm playing on emulator. As if they couldn't tell from all the other evidence of that. Like me literally saying that. Strange place for an energy tank because of the fact that it's in the middle of damage, but... Alright then. Alright then. Okay, so I think this is a place we want to be in. We have the spider ball. We can go fight Flagra, and we should be able to reopen the back room of that and fight those Chozo ghosts. Which, I know that that's the thing that I always love to do, is fight Chozo ghosts. It's my favorite activity in this game, in fact. I might be lying a little bit about that, but I digress. Still no boost ball, though, so there's a lot of, like, half-pipe stuff that we can't do. But we can go get the other item in the generator room in Chozo. Oh, wait, no, we can't actually do that yet. Shit vapors. We can go to the stuff behind the furnace, though. And there are some items we can get out of that. Actually, there's a lot of stuff we can do right now, come to think of it. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go this way. And missile. Alright, and I'm getting swarmed by garbage bugs. Get me out of here! Can't get that right now. Go back this way. Oh, yeah, in order to do this, I need to actually go beat Flagra. Well, 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 how the turntables. Got a missile. I had some items to go get before I go and fight Flagra, which, I mean, really, at this point, that's only for this one check. And a missile pack. 2 missile packs, actually. Because for now, I can't open any of the other stuff that it could lead to. There's our super missile. All right. Okay. So that lets us go and do Flagra's back door after that. And also some other stuff that uses super missile, probably. That also should make fighting Chozo Ghosts at least a little bit faster. I think. I could be wrong, but... yeah. Anyway, I still don't like fighting Flagra, so we're gonna go this way instead for now. So that way I don't have to bother with cutscene the boss for at least another, like, 10 minutes or so. That's right, folks, and this time we're doing this part properly. That's right, no glitching up this spider ball track for us this time. I mean, I could have just for fun, but I already showed that off earlier, so, like, how much would there be to gain from it? The answer is surprisingly little. Hilarious routing on that super missile. Yeah, 2 shots instead of... it might even just be 3 shots, but still. That is faster, so... Hey. Excuse me. Yep. Wrong button. In my defense, I am not using a GameCube controller on this computer, so... Yeah. Alright, let's do this part first, because we've got the ice beam early. Oh, it's just a missile. Which means that we're basically done with this area, because the purple thing will just lead us to an area that wants the boost ball, and we don't have the boost ball, so it's not worth it. It's not worth our time. Ah, yes, now the Chozo ghosts are all pissed off, so we'll be fighting them, like, everywhere. I kind of wish the randomizer had an option to, like, disable the music override for that. Maybe a newer version of it adds something like that, but god, the panic music for the Chozo Ghosts is kind of annoying. Especially because they show up in so many places that it just gets quite irritating to listen to. Oh god, am I gonna get harassed climbing up the tree in the middle of the area? I'm gonna get into fights during that, aren't I? Yes, I love to get harangued by last Thanksgiving's meal while I'm in the middle of this. The fuck do you mean analysis suggests the presence of it? It's literally right there, game. Just let me do that. And so I guess I gotta fight the ghosts, huh? Is that what you're telling me? Is that I have to fight these jagoffs? And I'm gonna just go ahead and go out on a limb and say, yeah, that's what they're telling me. Alright. Room's clear. The Reaper Vines haven't gotten all, returning yet, as far as I'm aware. There we go. Okay, so the symbol... I was quite concerned for a second there, because the fact that the slappy dudes didn't show up again, I was like, oh shit, is this disabled? Am I gonna have to, like, go back route for it in order to... Would I have to go into backdoor in order to fight Flagra? But as it turns out, everything is okay. Ish. You know, within reason, right? Let's not kid ourselves entirely. The world's still on fire, but we're not here to talk about that. Part of why somebody might interact with gaming content would be to avoid thinking about the whole world being on fire shit. But don't let me be the one to tell you that. Or do, I suppose. That's strange. That power bomb didn't break that. Is that, like, immune to power bombs for some reason? Just that one thing? That'd be really messed up. Open up. Don't you just love this incredibly time-wasting bug that I had to fight twice because I did something really stupid? All right, and in we go. Now, I think Flocker only stays down and stunned for like a limited time. But it's been kind of a while, so yeah. Well, that's a fine one to get knocked down, ultimately. Yeah, if you want to machine gun those down, you have to lock onto them, so make sure you do. Right, get over here. And let that thing go in. Place the bomb. Ban the spam bot that got caught by the filter. And sit here and watch the cutscene Wow, that thing soaked the explosion and it still managed to actually break the plating. That's pretty good. All right, up we go. All right, now surely this will spawn the Chozo Ghost, right? Or maybe it won't, and I'll have to hit an elevator and, you know, go up, go down. All right, here we go. So they get to fight the No Fun Brigade again. Okay, so note to self, you can do one charge shot and one super missile on them, and that will do the trick. Of course, it started jumping towards it too late. I could have just stood in the middle and fought him from there. Something good? Artifact of Strength. That might even be, like, completely vanilla. I don't recall, actually. Okay, so now I gotta think about this for a moment. Because I can go back to the overworld. I think I'm still kind of, like, progress blocked in Fentrana. Yeah, I have no... Well, I can get, like, one check there. But I would feel quite sad if that was the case, because that's a long walk. I can't quite do the thing on the other side of the grapple beam room. Oh, right, I can go and I can get the thing out of the fountain there. Out of the geyser. I can get the thing in the tree trunk here. I'm trying to avoid going to Phazon Mines yet. That's... I don't like the sound of that. Right, I gotta jump at this at a funny angle. It's just a missile. Oh, wow. Get the fuck out of my face, Wasp. Darn. Darn, 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 darn. So, yeah, I can't get at that grapple point over there. As I said, I can't get through the room at the end of the lava pool. So my options right now are pretty much to go either to the either the Phazon Mines or to go all the way back to Phendrana for one check. And then have me forget how I'm supposed to get to Magmore other than, like, literally go through the entire wrecked ship. Which is just a lot of fucking work, really, so... If I could avoid that, that would just be superb. Perhaps I can by going backwards through Phazon Mines. Ah, now that I have the grapple beam, they took those away. That's pleasant. Thank you, game. Makes me wonder if those are mega turrets yet. Well, those guys are still shooting red orbs. So, at bare minimum, those aren't troopers yet, I suppose. Maybe because I don't have the plasma beam yet, or I haven't done the invisible drone yet. Oh, good lord. We're being required to fight this dude? It just takes a second. Okay. Right. That kind of makes sense. Nice. A very good, quick, elite pirate fight. I'd like to fight the other dudes as little as possible, though. I'll sell it. I'll say that for a reasonable price. Okay, that's not where the pile of rubble that we can blow up is, I don't think. Yeah, that's not it. Somewhere else. This is not the way to Yeah, that way is that thing. Which, I mean, I think that's escapable, at least. That's a free check, but I don't want to try it right now. Gambling on something like that seems like a poor choice. Okay, that guy's just not there, I suppose. There's our boost ball. Hell yeah. All right, so we could go deeper into the mines. Which I understand that some demographics yearn for. The joke seems terrible, but... late now. Oh, all right. Ah, it's power troopers. At least those guys are not super hard. Up in there, and... rotate that around, and up we go. Did that complete that already? Wow. I think this is a pretty cool set piece, by the way. This, like, weird column with all these multiple parts that you rotate. I kind of wish it wasn't so irritating to use, but that's alright. And speaking of alright, a power bomb expansion is pretty alright by me. That is a not useless item, that's for sure. Ah, that guy completely ignored me. That's amazing. What a talented individual. Ouch. That shoved me all the way back in the door. Okay, so... I was looking for more bodies. Oh, there were a couple other dudes around. Okay. I didn't remember that that dude dropped down. Well, it's alright. I didn't have to even bother with being subtle about anything. No thought required. That guy just kind of sucked. Alright, and that arms that thing and caused it to start flashing bright green for some reason. How odd. Well. Yep. It's clobbering time for that wall. Revealing something. We don't know what yet. But at this point, the amount of major items that we need are quite few. Like, we need the X-ray visor, the plasma beam, the phazon suit. It's probably a missile. No, it's the X-ray visor. Ooh. Well, alright then. I guess that really cuts down the amount of stuff we need even more. Eesh. Dang. Alright, so before we leave, or before we go save anyway, there is some more shit that we can get here real quick. And we can start off with some power bombing, which hurts us a bit because I got too close to the explosives there. Oh, hey. He's like fully invisible because he's one of the new Shadow Troopers. And get a missile out of there. How much more? Yeah, there's still another couple of rooms before we get to back to the column room. And in here, we're gonna face these dudes. I'm expecting to fight wave troopers around the corner here, right? Like, it can't be entirely on the later enemy set. Just because we got the grapple beam room. And even then, I think the part 2 enemy set isn't all Shadow Troopers. Yeah, see? This is our first introduction to these dudes. pop this open. And I mean, like, that should stay open at least until we get the plasma beam later. You know what? Just power bomb through these guys. I actually got ambushed by the trooper. It's fine. Get a door. Do you want to open? I guess it's big room or something, but... Now, this room I know has, like, some significantly more stout gentlemen upstairs. In the form of what I believe are probably, probably power troopers, possibly wave troopers. Not ice troopers, I know that. Ice troopers first show up in that room where we saw them earlier. The room with the elite pirate, not the big face-on room. Alright, what item do you drop, friend? Well, we're gonna have to wait until we pick it up to find out, so... An energy tank. That is quite timely. Because our energy was starting to... Well... It wasn't really getting that low. It's more just the fact that this is a good place to get more energy because everything kind of hurts in the phase-on mines. This place is a bit of a excuse me, bit of a difficulty spike, if we're being perfectly honest here. I always get, like, really concerned about that one that's, like, security alert and it's in red. Like, that always makes me feel like I fucked up when I scan that because it's like, oh, was it unsent and now I've mailed it and they are going to be on high alert now. We got the flamethrower. Oh. That's not usable by us right now at all, so... That's possibly one of the worst drops we could get at the moment. Ah, here we go. Ice troopers. Ice troopers are kind of chumps, honestly. Like, at least the power troopers want a whole power super missile out of you. Ice troopers, however, like, yeah, just one charge shot and a missile. And I feel like they don't really show up in a place where the heat of battle is, like, ever so severe that you're like, oh, I can't afford to do that. Now, wave troopers, on the other hand, let's try to speed past these guys. Use the correct button, you fool. There we go. And yeah, there's the room that usually has the flamethrower in it. Oh yeah, I get the cutscene. Thankfully I didn't get turned around that time. Alright, so where does this elevator go? Vendruna Drift South Quarantine Cave active. Okay, so this will take us to the far end of things. I think I can kind of avoid the fight against Thardus with the grapple beam. As long as I don't, like, go into the pit. Alright. Folks, I'm breaking in. Alright, that's part of it down. Just slam that thing right in the face. God, how long do these turrets stay frozen for? A while, that's for sure. Is that the whole thing? That's not the whole thing. Right, there are 3. I thought scanning that was going to tell me what the item was, because usually that is a thing that can be done with those. It's not worth, like, logbook percentage or anything, but... it's a thing you can do. Do anything now? Okay, it doesn't tell me what it is. But I could tell from that it's a missile or it's an energy tank. And we'll know which one when we get out of the cutscene and see that our health is not full. That's all you've got, game? That's all you're throwing at me? Just those dudes? Well, alright. Yeah, Metroid's in this game super weak. Like, surprisingly so. And anybody who is, like, even vaguely genre savvy about the Metroid franchise will be like, wow, that was a weak-ass Metroid. But yes, they're so weak, you freeze them, you hit them with one missile, and they go down like a sack of potatoes. But hey, I'm glad for that, because there's enough of them in this game that, well, they don't call it Metroid Prime for nothing, I suppose. It's got a bunch of crates blocking it. Okay. That scans. Much more aggressive space pirates in this game than in, say, Super Metroid. Where, I mean, yeah, they would definitely fight you, but most of the time they were just, like, walking back and forth slowly. And then in this game, they are coming after you, guns blazing, and running like all hell. It's definitely quite a dynamic difference there. I can just carry right on, ignoring that Metroid. That's fun. Alright, so this room's gonna have flying pirates, I believe. Oh yeah, I gotta actually open the door before I switch to that. Which does actually make this a pretty fair choice for fighting these guys, even though they like to try to dodge it. They're very easily killed by Ice Beam and Missile. Alright, this way... Can we get to this artifact location yet, or is this a thing that requires plasma beam? I don't remember. This might be a thing that's walled to us until we have plasma beam. Well, yeah, judging by that... Yeah, so that's definitely a, hey, get the plasma beam before you can do that sort of thing. I mean, it looks like it's possibly doable from here. This might need a different vantage point than that. No, there's an invisible wall there. Never mind. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Unfortunately, yeah. Alright, yeah, here comes the puzzle. This room. Where it's scan the thing. And then, yeah, bomb slots. Then turn on the rollers. Just a missile pack. Oh well. But I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna save, and we're gonna pick this one up tomorrow, because I've been streaming for about a while. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you stop that, controller. It's a good thing this is right at the end of the thing.